Welcome back to Skillable Stand channel. This video is about a new announcement. I'm planning to start a series of videos on Docker, and I've named it as Master Docker in a Month of Snacks. Okay, so the reason I've named it as Month of Snacks, so while you have the snacks on a daily basis, you can learn a technology in a crisp and clear, effective way. So even though the sessions are 15 minutes in length, okay, it will not impact the delivery in terms of continuity of the course, learning the technology the right way. Okay, so I've planned the course with the right length, with the schedule, and the syllabus is also framed in such a way that it is not going to jeopardize the quality of the content. So most of the videos, it should be exactly 15 minutes or around 15 minutes. So you can learn a new technology in a month of snacks. And the reason I've chosen Docker, while there are many other container runtimes, so like virtualization, when people talk about virtualization, the first thing that comes to mind is VMware, right? When it comes to server virtualization or hardware virtualization. Whereas when it comes to operating system virtualization, when we talk about containerization, the very first technology that comes to mind is Docker. All right. So when you learn Docker and experiment it with all use cases, then you can go and explore the other container runtimes very quickly. Okay, so I'm planning to focus these sessions around Docker, which is a very popular technology for the last 6 to 8 years in the containerization era, right? So what we are going to cover in the next 30 days and beyond that. Okay, in the next 30 days, anyone who's new to containerization or who is a beginner to container technology, this course will cover from the beginning scratch. We'll start with what is containerization and what is the difference between containerization and the OS and hardware virtualization. And we'll also talk about what are the different container runtime that are available and what is the container when it compared with virtual machines, like what is the difference between those two. Then we'll also discuss why Docker when there are many other container runtimes available in the market. And we'll also see how to install the Docker on different platforms, OS platform like Windows, Linux, and Mac. And also we'll talk about the Docker architecture. We'll talk about how these components work together. We'll explore one by one in details. Okay, I'll also talk about how we can go and execute the commands on these Docker engine or on this particular container runtime. So we'll start with basic commands and we'll also explore what are the different environment variables that are available to go and modify things to suit the requirement. And we're not just going to start with basic commands. We'll also explore the advanced commands when it comes to troubleshooting, monitoring, logging, and inspecting the system. So we'll also discuss about the advanced commands that are available in Docker. And we'll go ahead and create a Docker Hub account. And we'll also discuss the free plan and the enterprise corporate plans that are available from Docker. Now Docker is owned by a company called Mirantis when it comes to Docker Enterprise, right? So we'll also discuss how to create a free account, how to explore the container registry platform, and how to push the container image and how to pull it back when we need it. Okay, so we'll also discuss the Docker file in details. So this is very important when it comes to DevOps because most of the applications are now deployed in microservices architecture, and especially all of them are heading towards container platform. So we'll discuss how to create a Docker file, how to build a Docker image using that, and then how to push and pull the image when we want to spin up a new container or when you want to run a container in the environment. Okay, and after that, we'll also talk about how to tag the containers to identify is better, and also we'll also see how to name the containers in such a way that we are able to quickly identify and have the proper tags in place. Okay, so we'll also have the best practices discussions around that. And next thing is we'll discuss about the Docker Compose, how to deploy multiple containers part of a single application or multiple application, and how to play around with the Docker Compose. And we'll also see how to share the resources when it comes to CPU, network, and memory. I'll explain how to do the resource management, especially in CPU and memory. Then we'll move on to the network. There are 7 different network categories that are available. Even you can use third-party drivers that will count up count up to much more numbers than 7. But we'll focus on the 7 different options that we have, and I'll explain one by one with use cases and demo on the Docker networking, and we'll move on to the Docker storage. At a very high level, there is also 4 different categories in storage, but you can go beyond by any count the bind and the volume file systems. So it can go beyond 3 or 4 categories, but we'll discuss all those Docker storage options, and we'll discuss with use cases around those. We'll also talk about the Docker storage, Docker security. Then we'll move on to discuss about the Docker monitoring and troubleshooting. Then we will discuss about a very interesting tool called Portainer. This will help you to efficiently manage your Dockerized environment or any container platform. Either you have the containers running on your private cloud environment or in your own on-premises data center or in the Azure cloud platform. You can manage all those environments efficiently, and you can also clean up the unwanted images, the containers and the unwanted templates from your environment. So this is going to help you a lot. We'll explore the different options around the Portainer tool, and we'll move on to discuss the Docker Swarm at a later time, okay, which is the container orchestration tool, which is a product from Docker themselves. Mirantis also have their own option, Kubernetes engine, but we'll discuss about the Docker Swarm option, and we'll also see how to deploy a DevOps set of tool sets like Jenkins and other tools on the Docker platform in a very quick way, and how to use it with utmost security. We'll also discuss that. And later we'll discuss about some of the interview questions and exam preparation questionnaires, some tips and tricks around the Docker environment. We'll also discuss more use cases. So in the first 30 days or 31 days, I'm planning to cover all the core technologies that are around Docker one by one. Then we'll move on to discuss the additional tips and tricks, use cases, interview questions, and exam preparation content after that. Okay, so if you want to stay tuned to all these set of videos that are going to be published on a daily basis, subscribe to the channel, and you have to click on the bell icon to get the notifications when I'm uploading the contents. Okay, thank you for listening.